Hello everybody and welcome to Gene's Reviews, movie reviews from a regular dude, where I do movie reviews, trailer reactions, I react to YouTube videos. Today I'm going to react to this YouTube video I found and I'll comment on it and stuff. It's from a channel called Gloomy House and it's 5 serial killer moments caught on camera. Now, I used to listen to a podcast all the time called Sword and Scale. It's a true crime podcast, and I'm really fascinated by a lot of that stuff. I'm sure a lot of people are. I don't know what it is that makes me fascinated with it, because some of it was actually pretty dark, so I can't listen to it all the time, but this ought to be interesting, so let's check this one out.
Serial killers let loose to their sickest fantasies by preying on the weak, but a few of these decide to kick it up a notch by recording their crimes as depraved mementos that feed their desires. For obvious reasons, I will not show the full clips, but will provide enough information for you to find them on your own.
I don't think I'd want to see the full clips.
These
anyway,
are 5 serial killer moments caught on video. Number 5. The Dating Game was one of the most successful TV shows to ever air in the United States. It consisted of the following. The show would invite 4 guests, typically 1 woman and 3 bachelors. The lady would only be able to ask questions and listen to the answers. And at the end of the show, she would choose the man of her preference. But on one occasion, in the year 1978, the famous TV show took part in a horrendous scandal.
Time to meet our first 3 eligible bachelors for game number 1, and here they are. Good luck, gentlemen. Well, let's see. Bachelor number 1 is a successful photographer who got his start when his father found him in the dark room at the age of 13, fully developed. Between takes, he might find him skydiving or motorcycling. Please welcome Rodney Alcala. Rod, welcome.
That's him, yeah.
The beautiful woman began asking questions, and the 3 men answered. But amongst all of these, one of the bachelors stood out, not only because of his charisma and good looks, but also because of his answers.
We're going to start by having them say hello to you and see how they sound. Number 1, would you say hello to Cheryl, please?
We're going to have a great time together, Cheryl.
Okay.
Bachelor number 1.
Yes.
What's your best time?
The best time is at nighttime,
Why do you say that?
because that's the only time there is.
The only time? What's wrong with morning, afternoon?
Well, they're okay, but nighttime's when it really gets good. Then you're really ready.
I'm a drama teacher, and I'm going to audition each of you for my private class.
This was such a corny show.
You're a dirty old man. Take it.
Come on, over here.
Oh, honey, we ought to go out and boogie.
Really?
A bachelor number 1. I am serving you for dinner.
Oh,
What are you called, and what do you look like?
I'm called the banana, and I look really good.
Can you be a little more descriptive?
Peel me.
And then it came time to choose.
Dumb.
Will that date be bachelor number 1, bachelor number 2, or bachelor number 3? Who gets the dates?
Well, I like bananas, so I'll take...
The man's name was Rodney Alcala. The problem, he was a cold-blooded serial killer. By the time of the show, he had already committed a series of extremely violent crimes. He would murder young women by either decapitating or bashing their skull, many times keeping the rotting body and raping it until he found them unpleasant. It is speculated that Rodney killed upwards of 30 women. He is currently serving life in prison. As far as the female contestant, she lived. An interview revealed that she stopped dating him only after a couple weeks now that his presence gave her a very uneasy feeling.
I can understand that. I mean, I thought he was creepy right from the get-go. Let me know what you think. I mean, yeah, peel me. I mean, what a dork.
Number 4. Leonard Lake and Charles Ann committed a series of horrifying crimes which devastated the lives of everyone who crossed their path. They were obsessed with war torture techniques and dark sexual fantasies, which led to their self-titled sinister project, the Miranda Tapes. Tapes which detailed the death, torture, and murder of several women. Upon capture, Leonard Lake committed suicide by swallowing a cyanide pill. The prosecution of Charles Ann led to one of the longest and most expensive trials in California history, costing the state nearly $20 million. Their plan came to an end, but the evidence they left behind stands as a testimony to the mayhem they created.
Without script or without any real organization of what I want to say, but I do feel I need to explain. This tape, what you're hearing now, is going to be the lead-in of the various phases of construction of building a secret room, if we can call it. The purpose of that cell will be the imprisonment of the young lady who probably at this moment is unknown to me. What I want is an off-the-shelf sex partner. I want to be able to use a woman whenever and however I want. And when I'm tired or bored or not interested, I simply want to put her away, lock her up in a little room.
Just buy a doll or something, you freaking weirdo.
Anyone who needs my justifications and my rationalizations as to why I would want to imprison and, in fact, enslave a young woman, they have only to look closely at me. Slave, there's no way around it. Primarily a sexual slave, but nonetheless a physical slave as well.
Wow, that guy, they said he killed himself in prison. I guess that just got him to hell a little bit quicker. I hope.
Number 3. Anatoly Slifkin was convicted for the murders of 7 boys between the ages of 7 and 17. In the year 1961, Slifkin witnessed a gruesome traffic accident in which a boy in his early teens was killed. The scene sexually aroused him so much that he would later recall the accident vividly, the smell of gasoline and fire burning through human tissue. In his later years, Slifkin began a children's club, but his only purpose was to exploit his position to take advantage of the members. He would form a close relationship with the boys. Slifkin would specifically pick out his victims so that they resembled the boy of the accident. He would then lure his victims by telling them of an experiment which involved controlled hanging. It would stretch out the spine up to the point of unconsciousness, after which the boy was assured Slifkin would revive them. But instead, Slifkin would wait until they lost consciousness. He would then strip them naked, caress and fondle them, taking films of the entire events. Over the course of 21 years, Slifkin persuaded 43 boys to take part in the experiment, but in 7 of these cases he turned violent. The tapes reveal Slifkin dismembering and burning some of the victims. Following a long investigation, Anatoly Slifkin was arrested in December of 1985. He was charged with 7 accounts of murder, sexual abuse, and necrophilia. He was executed in the year 1989.
Yeah, all I can say is I'm glad they're not showing the whole Tapes. I don't think I could handle that. Man, these are there's some really messed up people in this world. That's all I gotta say.
Number 2. Not to be confused with the creators of Three Guys One Hammer, Arderom and Nikita were social outcasts who hated society and humankind. Their reign of terror was inspired by the Dnepropetrovsk maniacs. These teenagers shocked Russian society by attacking seemingly random victims with a mallet and knife. The serial killers claimed a total of 15 victims, 6 of which died, but one of the attacks was videotaped and it quickly circulated through Russian social networks and eventually the rest of the world. We see them running through a forest, viciously attacking homeless people, but in one brutal scene, they beat a defenseless woman with a shovel. She begs for mercy and attempts to get up and make her run for it, but she is badly beaten. Half of her scalp is literally hanging off her head, but they proceed to maul, stab, and even attempt to gouge out her eyes. The camera used to record the attacks belonged to Nikita's uncle, who accidentally found a memory card with a gruesome video of the attack. He then reported the crime to authorities and the teenagers were subsequently arrested. These two devils received the nickname of the Academy Killers. The video can be found on LiveLeak, but I warn you, it is extremely graphic.
I don't mind hearing about this stuff, but there's no way I'd go search out any of these videos to see the whole thing. I just don't think I could handle it. It'd bother me too much. I'd like to see something, what I'd really like to see is one of these crazy bastards like this trying to get somebody and they're videoing it and the table gets turned on them and that person just stomps the shit out of them and kills them right there. That I would hunt down and watch so I could sit there and cheer.
Number 1. The case of the Dnepropetrovsk maniacs is one of the most repugnant cases in modern history, and it is also a case that inspired the killers of the second spot in this list. The criminals, Igor, Alexander, and Victor, had between 18 to 19 years of age at the time of the brutal homicides they thoroughly enjoyed recording. The three teenagers started killing animals, but they soon moved on to killing people. Their reign of terror spanned nearly a month in the year 2007. They targeted women, children, the elderly, and the ill. One of these murders is the reason they take the number 1 spot. The video came to be known as Three Guys One Hammer. It was leaked online and it is now immortalized in the internet. The man in the video is 48-year-old Sergei Yatsenko. He was a man who cared for his family and children, but he had been recently forced into retirement due to a cancerous tumor in his throat. On July 12, 2007, he went out for a bicycle ride, but he was viciously mauled by the serial killers. He tried screaming for help, but his throat condition prevented the cries from being loud enough. He was beaten until unrecognizable with a hammer, then repeatedly stabbed with a screwdriver in his eyes and abdomen.
Okay, those guys are just pussies as far as I'm concerned. Attacking people that can't defend themselves. They're pussies. There's no other way to really put it. They're cowards. I don't know. That's some pretty disturbing stuff. But the last 3 I had never heard of. The first 2 I'd heard of those before, but the last 3 I didn't know anything about. That was from a channel called Gloomy House, 5 serial killer moments caught on video. Let me know your comments down below. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that fun stuff. And be careful, there's some weirdos out there. And I will see you next time.